Well, this is not at all what I had in mind. Here's the post office. There's the bench where I had my wedding reception. Honestly, I remember that house and these buildings. They have not changed, most of them in 15 years. Some have been repainted, cleaned up a bit. Some have not, and they're still the same. Huck's running up ahead in the dumping snow now. Look at that, it's turning all white out there. Totally different scene from earlier this morning, isn't it? Well, coming back to the tent area, it's over there. I don't know if you can even see it. And I'm having to hike in because for some reason my four-wheel drive's not working. This got too sketchy. Get stuck back in here for days. What if it keeps snowing? Anyway, so I left the truck parked back up there toward the main part of the road. Well, I'm not believing this. Mid-September, outside Crested, Butte. Trucks out there in the distance. There's the road that goes up to Paradise Divide. I won't be going up there, won't be riding my bike up there or anything. Doesn't look like. Alright, so yeah, there's a little bit of a Survivor Man aspect to this adventure. Alright, yes, definitely an element of Survivor Man here going on. This is not all that relaxing. I'm kind of tired. Survival and stress. Oh, I got the four-wheel drive working on the truck. Was able to bring it all the way down, but I'm going to take it back up to the road before I go to sleep. In case it snows 6 inches or something during the night, I might not make it out of here. Four-wheel drive makes a big difference, of course. I use it periodically to make sure it's still working. And I've used it recently, but coming to the moment of truth, it failed. But now it's back, so whatever. Alright, bit of a chilly night. I was a little worried about Huck. He was cold. I didn't really bring a sleeping bag for him. Alright, there goes some four-wheelers up there, up that road. About a half an hour ago, my tire tracks were a glossy sheen of solid ice. Alright, these tire tracks were solid sheen of ice just about 45 minutes ago. The sun came out. Fortunately for me, didn't continue snowing some or something, and it has melted down the track, so I'm going to be able to drive out and into town. If it was still snowing and icy all night long and still snowing now, there's a good chance I might be trapped in here. This is a pretty place to be trapped. I could walk out if necessary. It's only 10 miles. Here's Pittsburgh. There's the sign. There is a house up there, and this appears to be a ranch. And look, there's a building up there. Oh, there's a cabin over there. So there's a few houses up here in Pittsburgh. Beautiful Pittsburgh. I like this better than the other one. Alright, I came down that little road where someone had removed the road sign. The road sign would have said, "Oh, be joyful campground." And I've never seen that all the days I've been up here. I've never remembered this was down here because the sign was gone. I knew there was an "Oh, be joyful" something, trail. But anyway, you can see this one has trees, picnic tables, and fire pits, and a restroom. And it's much warmer than where I'm camped, and less windy, although it's still windy today. Look, there's some wood out there, and a beautiful little, the Slate River also. I think I'm just going to move down here this afternoon. Really quite a lovely little camping area. Only about, this is 4 and maybe 3/4 miles up the Slate River Road. Alright, here's the ski area. See that peak up there? I've actually skied down that chute before. Back in the old days, have to rappel in from the peak and then down that chute. That's called the, I can't remember. I think it's called the banana. Main chute, I don't know. Anyway, I'm standing on the deck of what's now called Butte 66 Roadhouse Barbecue. It used to be called the Artichoke, a fern bar that I was the general manager of, and as you can see, this is really the prime après ski location right here on this patio. So I would have thousands and thousands of people. Probably had 50 or 60 employees, something like that. You can see there's a frisbee golf hole right there. Apparently there's a course right around here. That's one of the holes. There used to be another building right here, another large building with a bar in it called the Rafters. It was kind of my primary competition. I've been working there for a short time. And thankfully it's been knocked down and replaced by an ice skating rink. It never was a very nice place. Dumb design. Poorly run. Sorry about that. That's the truth. Alright, once again I'm up the Slate River Road. There's my tent up there. You know, coming up the road about 7 or 8 miles to this point, you know, there's just lots of little pull-outs and places to camp along the way and such. They're not. Anyway, there's lots of, you know, nice turnouts and places to camp or park along the way. And this is the point where the road turns almost a U-turn and heads up across there and ends up going up through there to the right of that peak there. That's called Paradise Divide. And that crosses over and eventually joins up, goes by Rainbow Lake, and then you end up on the road coming back down into Crested Butte, the road that comes past Mount Crested Butte, and that's Gothic Road as it goes into town there. So that's a nice loop, a nice tour, not too difficult. This part has some switchbacks, you know, you might go forward, probably not necessarily. It is bumpy, you have to go real slow, but it's gorgeous. Late morning here at Obi Joyful, it's called. This is the Slate River, and the Obi Joyful Trail is over there. It goes to the Obi Joyful Mine, and there's a waterfall too. Oh, I see there's some more sites over there across the river. I didn't know that. It's very nice. Free campground. It's excellent. There's a facility there and everything. Now, the only problem is that there's no sign. The sign has been removed, so if you're trying to find this, you come up the Slate River Road, outside of Crested Butte, about a mile up Gothic Road, and go 4 miles up. You'll see the 4-mile marker. Then you go about another half a mile, and there'll be a road down on the left with no marker. You can see the posts. 2 posts are still standing there, but there's no sign. Look how clear the water is, and I just saw some little, I walked up and I startled some fish. I mean, that is clearer than tap water. A beautiful spot. Huck likes it too. Some glimpses of parts of the Slate River as we get a little closer to town. This is like the Slate River Valley here. Now it looks like a little creek now. Shut up, Huck. Looks like a little creek now, but you know, millions, billions of tons of snow melt come down through here each year. That's Huck wanting to get out and run and play.